Welcome to Rauta and Hellsinki Metal Festival 2024 recap. First, I'll go quickly what was going on at the festival, how it was, what are the good things, what are the bad things, and so on. And then I'll give you a little bit of a walking around the festival area, also asking people some questions. That's what we did when Hellsinki Metal Festival 2024 happened on 9th and 10th of August 2024. As it so happens, it was my birthday on the 9th, so all in all, what a great birthday present in that sense. So let's tune for the festival's site. Now, the main site is of course now updated with 2025 edition, so there's not much to see. Luckily, the whole page hasn't been yet updated, so you will see the old logo that is for this year, as well as the lineup for 2024. Now, I was unable to, unfortunately, attend the festival last year, 2023, when it was taking place for the first time at local ice hockey hall. I say local, meaning Helsinki, even though I'm from Turku, but that it is what it is. So quite middle in the city, quite central area of the city in a way. Not exactly the very, very core, but still nonetheless. And it seemed that everybody was liking how the festival turned out with, the ice hall, including an inside stage and, of course, outdoors areas. Well, this time it seems things got a little bit improved since the first year. And this time also 3 different stages. The main stage, also known as Helsinki 1, Helsinki 2 as the secondary outdoor stage, and then Helsinki 3 indoor stage in the ice hockey hall. And one of the main improvements considered that this inside area was expanded into more audience, meaning that people got to have actually those seats rather than just the floor area. Because I was told last year it was too crowded and some people didn't really get in, unfortunately so. So lesson learned, they had more space for people, more capacity for people to see the bands playing inside. So what was the thing then going on is like you have this lineup for 3 different stages, including but not limited to heavy metal and power metal, different kind of core variations, deathcore, metalcore, whatever, then also black metal, death metal, even grind and beyond. And this whole thing is kind of a catering to a lot of needs. I won't say it caters to all needs because obviously there is no such thing as a festival catering to all possible metal needs. There's always someone saying too much mainstream, not enough underground, or vice versa. People saying like too many underground bands, I don't really care, I want more mainstream. Or people saying too much core, too much this, too much that, blah blah blah. But I think Hellsinki Metal Festival really nailed it in a nice way. Sure, always there are some bands you couldn't really care less about. Goes for me as well as a lot of my friends, probably all the audience. And then there were probably a lot of people who were like pretty much going one band to another and enjoying new experiences all. Now it all comes down to 2 factors. How many bands you've seen previously, because if you're a newcomer, you might be more welcoming to different kind of genres, subgenres, new bands, new styles, whatsoever. If you're an old fart like me and already been doing too many festivals over the decades, you probably go more cherry picking and say, I want to just see this, that, and those, and the rest you can pretty much give it a go. Now, I'm always checking out for new bands as well, but I am also very critical and kind of I don't know if there's a proper word for people like me, doing reviews, interviews, and all that stuff all the time. When you get kind of very, very picky what you like, meaning I'm not exactly the most welcoming when it comes to genres I'm not, already liking. But anyway, I give those bands a chance, and if they suck, I will let people know, and if I do love them, people always know that as well. So anyhow, 2 days, 3 different stage, what it was going on. I was told that secondary day, the second day, Saturday, was sold out. So congratulations to the festival. Things have been done right when things like that happen. For me personally, the first day, Friday, was actually better, but that's just because of the given bands and all. Now the downside was, I was expecting to get a few interviews done. Usually I go for 2 per day, meaning 4 for 2 days events. And not a single interview happened. I don't know how this is possible really after more than 7 years, almost 7.5 years in the making. And this is the first time that things like this happen. Now, I'm not blaming for the festival. I'm not blaming the PR people. They probably did the best they could. One thing that people need to understand with especially bigger festivals like this is there is a band that arrives prior to the show, probably doesn't have too much time. Before the show, they play the show, they get to the showers or whatever backstage area, probably from refreshments, drinks, food, whatever, and then they go away because there's always a next flight waiting for them for the next festival and whatnot. So sometimes, and very often I guess, the bands don't even have the luxury of, staying overnight at the given city, which means there's very, very little time for interviews and all that stuff. The other reason is, you probably guessed it already, Rauta is not big enough for certain big mainstream artists. So they go cherry picking, or more like their representatives, labels, PR people, managers, whoever, go cherry picking which media they want to prefer. So I also get that. When you are like a channel like Rauta, some bigger bands or their representatives might be checking out, okay, this is not our core audience. We are not going to waste our precious time on that. So I get it. No blood, no whatsoever. But it's kind of sad because sometimes certain bands are also already gotten agreed and they still don't have it. Like in this case, Terrorized was promised for me to happen, and I was so excited because not only Pete Commando Sandoval of Morbid Angel and Terrorizer fame, plus some others, as well as David Vincent still play in the band, and I was looking forward to get either one for the interview, which I was told was going to happen. Because these guys would have stories to tell, and not only talking about Terrorizer but beyond. But of course Terrorizer alone would have been enough for me. So I was really, really looking forward that to happen. And then a couple of hours before that was supposed to take place, I was told it's not going to happen. So obviously I was disappointed. My plan B, get more beers, celebrate the birthday, check out some bands live and hang out with friends. Once again, no blood, no things harmed or whatever. But yeah, I'm still going to say I was disappointed in the very fact that I got zero interviews throughout the festival. Now, the festival in general was nicely organized, at least from my perspective. First of all, you have this ice rink, and inside there is the stage number 3, which is good for bands that are going to play inside. Maybe smaller audience than the outside ones. There were also art exhibitions, so famous photographers and creators of cover art and beyond were right there to give autographs, to explain their art, to sell their art and beyond. So you would actually see some pretty famous names, which you will see what I do with the walking around video in the last part of this whole recap. On top of that, there also of course has merchandise areas and various other places to visit. So in my opinion, there was quite good amount of different things happening in addition to all the bands playing right there. So lots of things to do, especially if you check out the schedule and figure out, I'm not going to see that band and I'm not that interested in that band, so time to walk about their area and see what else there is to see. So all in all, I think the whole ice hall concept worked rather nicely. Of course, outdoors you had the main stage, the bigger stage and the smaller stage. Now, the one general complaint I heard from a lot of people, and I gotta agree with this, it felt weird that all the core bands basically got the bigger stage, the stage number 1, whereas a lot of bigger bands, which were no core bands but still quite big, including but not limited to bands like Satyricon, D-Side, Abath playing Immortal, they were playing on the stage number 2, and you could really see how much people were like building up the whole area, filling the area queue and all. So it felt like a little bit misplaced, especially when a lot of those core bands didn't really have that much of an audience. So it felt like these core bands were supposed to be big and getting big audience, and then they might have smaller audience than the ones doing black metal or death metal on the secondary stage. So this was a little bit weird. Also some weird overlapping took place, which I was a little bit like wondering why. Maybe this is because artists' schedules and all, but it felt weird. For example, Goodalax playing grindcore and Terrorizer playing death grind, playing at the same time. Goodalax was playing inside, Terrorizer on the second stage. So it felt weird that these bands would play at the same time. versus some bands, like a core band and a grind band, or, core band and a, I don't know, death metal band. But like I said, sometimes maybe the organizer, maybe they didn't just have the possibility to just put everything nicely, so you could either choose, like, you want heavy metal, you go outside, you go inside if you want death metal, that kind of thing. But it still felt weird. I'm not gonna list all the bands that were playing there, because this would be then 40 minutes of a video. I'm just gonna mention my personal highlights, which were something I was totally into. So there was a lot of bands I didn't watch at all. Some bands I gave a glimpse, and I'm not gonna mention the ones that didn't really interest me or were not that, because there's no really need for negativity. I'm just gonna focus on the good stuff which you probably want to see later on. Satyricon was surprisingly good, I'll give them that, because I wasn't really paying much attention to them in Bergen at Beyond the Gates, where they played 2 special shows. It just felt too basic. But this time it served, because I was actually hanging out with my friends who wanted to see Satyricon. I was like, okay, why not? And that was pretty good. There were some certain highlight songs which, worked really nicely, even though I'm not really a fan of later era Satyricon. So that was pretty nice overall. D-Side was the top band for me especially. I saw them last year at Beyond the Gates, where they played full Legion set, and now it was typical festival set, with these hit songs from various albums, from the first ones to the later ones and whatever. D-Side really nailed it. Glenn Benton was like a possessed individual, doing great vocals and all that stuff. Doing the kind of like Dead by Dawns and whatnot. So really, really good show. Triumph of Death, which I already saw a couple of years ago when I interviewed Tom G. Warrior, was once again really, really good. So those were the highlight ones. Also Terrorizer. First time for me seeing this death grind legend featuring those Morbid Angel guys. And I think it was full of energy. And while I'm not that much of a fan really of the whole career, I mean, the later albums are too basic death metal for me. But, the early songs and all that stuff, there was a good energy which really made my day. Now, there were some bands which I could have seen, but I've seen them before or time schedule once, so probably missed something. Like I missed Massacre, for instance, because I was supposed to get the interview done at that time. So who knows what gems I missed, but luckily seen that within 2 years, so it doesn't really matter. Second day, I was skipping more bands. We just spent too much time with my friends, bandmates and all, having beers and other that stuff. So we actually arrived quite late to the premises. But it was clear that it was quite obvious that the second day was more people right there. And I guess it's very, very much partially because of the bigger bands such as Meshuggah and Creator having massive audience. With Creator, it was almost like whack and open air kind of a thing. Great aesthetics, good visuals, good sound, good energy. What can I say? Definitely one of those things where even though I'm not even a Creator fan, it just sounded and looked wonderful. For me personally, the Saturday's best event was Abbath playing Immortal. Obviously, I was hoping for more older material, really like the first 3 albums rather than the newer ones. But yeah, can't really bitch about it. I mean, there was some strong energy going on with Abbath, and the sound was good. This was actually my 3rd time seeing Abbath within, say, 18 months. So maybe I wasn't that much into that stuff because I already know what to expect, even though kind of hoping for older Immortal stuff. But yeah, everything went nicely and all good, so can't really bitch about it. Then there were lots of bands which I've seen lately, so I didn't care too much about seeing them. So my highlights, personally, roughly the order would be D-Side number 1, Abbath secondary, and then maybe Terrorizer, Satyricon, roughly that order. So all in all, gave me a good feeling about the whole festival, and of course I'm looking forward to see them 2025 as well, which just happens to or also overlap with my birthday, so there should be no excuse for me to participate, unless friends and family are actually having some birthday plans for me that year. Let's hope they're not aiming for that particular day, because otherwise I will be screwed. Anyway, my suggestion is, if you like lots of different kind of metal, Hellsinki Metal Festival is one of the better ones from Finland. If you're looking more black metal or more underground acts, be it more death metal, whatever, this is not maybe the festival. There are those festivals which are more focused on given subgenres of metal. Like, you would probably go in terms of black metal, for example, at Steelfest, or you might go for Helsinki Death Fest for death metal bands. But if you're wanting to see bigger bands or all-around bands from heavy metal to thrash to core to death, black, whatever, Hellsinki Metal Festival is, in my opinion, kind of carrying the torch nowadays, especially when Tuska went more outside of metal, more into the world of core. At least Hellsinki Metal Festival seems to be taking that spot, and it was almost like taking me back to the era when Tuska was really the go-to festival. This is more than 10 years ago. We're talking about 15 to 20 years ago, but back in the days it was the stuff, and I think Hellsinki Metal Festival really seems to have that spirit. So maybe not for the underground audience, maybe not for the cult acts, but those medium and bigger acts, Hellsinki Metal Festival really nailed it nicely. So I would say next year, let's keep our thumbs up, and it's gonna be interesting. The Blind Lucifer tickets are already being sold at the site. I think might be even sold out. I mean, I saw this Blind Lucifer 2 days blind tickets already to be sold, but there was like some information that they have pretty much mostly sold out already. So if you're going for that and you want some cheaper tickets, maybe give it a go if those dates work for you. Now I hope you will enjoy the walking around video about the festival and all that stuff. But like I said, no interviews coming from this particular festival. So off you go, and maybe see you there next year. Off you go. Bye bye.
Welcome to Helsinki Metal Fest 2024. Here we are with the Rauta team, and we're going to give you a little bit of a walking around the whole venue, because technically speaking this is a hall for ice hockey games, and often used as a venue for a lot of gigs beyond metal too, but of course with metal as well. So since we're now heading in, let's get some beers and walk in and see what there is to show you. 3 different stages, tattooing, merchandise and beyond, and there are lots of places we even haven't really paid that much attention. So follow me if you please, and we'll see about it. So after the entrance we take turn to the right. We're gonna show you, because this is as an ice hall, we're gonna show you a little bit of the whole premises, and then we're gonna talk to some random people, that is if they're allowing us to. It's just watching Hellhammer and all. Alrighty. First we have here some horns. Let's go to talk to these people. They have drinking horns. Let's talk to them. Hello. Can I talk to you for a little bit? We're doing a whole tour here. You're selling drinking horns. What's the story with that?
The drinking horns, the company is from England, and we are one of the biggest in Europe in this moment, going to each big festival in Europe, heavy metal festival mostly. And the story is that my boss, he likes heavy metal, and he was having that idea 12 years ago to make this product, and so that's the story. We sell buffalo horns. We have buffalo and we have cow horns or bull horns. So they are all natural and they are very well made, so that it's safe for drinking.
All right, thank you so much. So people, if you're looking for some unusual drinking items, this is the stuff you might be looking for. Thank you for your time. Of course, we're going to take a look around. There's some different kind of merchandise around here, and there are things for sale and also peculiar standing. All right, let's get it going. We have food. Sir, can I have a few seconds of your time, more like?
Okay, sure.
How have you been enjoying Hellsinki Metal Fest so far?
It's been great.
Favorite bands?
Maybe Tyrantti.
Why so?
It was fucking great.
Finnish speed metal, the old school way.
It's not speed metal. It's like
Combination of thrash, heavy and all.
yeah, maybe more like heavy metal.
What other bands than Duranti?
Avantasia, that was great.
One of the headliners.
I don't know.
They were. All right. Have a good one.
Yeah.
And enjoy. So, as you can probably figure out, some people come here for, say, more traditional heavy metal, like Duranti and, Avantasia. And, of course, since we're at the this given festival, we have also death metal, black metal, bands that go beyond these, I guess, typical senses. You can buy jewelry here, which I guess is kind of a mandatory thing to have at festivals. Let's bother these fine-looking gentlemen. Sirs, can we ask you a couple of questions regarding the festival?
Yeah.
How has it been for you, Mr. Sir, with a nice-looking battery shirt? What are the best bands so far for you?
Massacre.
Why so? Old school death metal.
Yeah, and Tree of Death, of course. Hellhammer is.
Old school fanatic here. What about you, sir?
Last night Massacre and Cadaver is very nice and
So just old school death metal. What about you, sir? You have a fine-looking Possessed shirt there, so you must be old school metalhead as well.
Same story. Yeah.
Same story. Okay. Thank you, guys. Enjoy the rest of the night. Second day. So as you can see, this side of the venue doesn't really have that much to offer. So we're gonna pace up and just take a look at the other side of thing, and then we're gonna go in. Actually, we should probably just dive into the darkness right now. We're gonna just give you a little bit of a glimpse. This is so-called Helsinki stage number 3. And here you can see really the ice rink. And if you follow me and take a look at that side, you will also see there's a wrestling mat. That is for, wrestling as entertainment. Stuff like this, and you can see the seating stands. You can see the main inside stage, that is the only inside stage that is, which will feature bands like, say, Mayhem. So once again, might be the third stage, might sound the smallest stage theoretically, kinda, so, but also more fitting for bands like Mayhem, which are probably not as much, the outdoor stage. Let's go about which we don't dare to bother people who are texting important text messages here. All right. So what we have here is an art exhibition. So you might see some famous photos of famous people, including Peter Beste, the famous Norwegian black metal photographer, having his own stuff here to show you. A lot of you people probably have seen a lot of these photos here. And then we have some art here for sale. Let's go ask these people. Excuse me, fine couple of guys.
Hello.
What exactly are you doing here?
I'm drawing. I'm an artist exhibiting here for the Hellsinki Metal Festival, and I exhibited a few works here, and I sell my stuff. I'm here because also I'm doing metal covers for bands.
Now a lot of people might actually know this gentleman by name. That is, if you're one of the old school people who actually read the booklets and whatnot with the albums and all. Those who are just for streaming probably totally go missing out. How do these beautiful pieces of art actually make it to the covers? Now, any favorites for you, sir, with any kind of a band you've been doing work with?
Oh yes, I worked for both Behemoth albums, Sventevit and Grom, and also Ishan Telemark mini LP, and I've done works for Finnish bands like Para, Satanic Warmaster, Warlog, and a lot of works for Mortis also.
So as people can figure out, bigger bands and truly underground black metal cult acts. Thank you so much, sir, and have a fine festival. So people, like I said, pay attention to the art. It's a big part of the whole music, the whole things getting released. So never go overlooking that just because you see some stamp-sized things on streaming platforms. So onwards we go. We have more art here for sale, postcards, whatnot. We have random people bouting about. I think we should really bother some people just for random comments. They're almost like asking for it. And here we have some merchandise for people who are all about hate and shit. Hello, you fine sir. How's that has been for you at the Hellsinki Metal Festival?
Very good.
Good sales?
Very good.
Good people?
Amazing people.
Can you complain at least about something? It's very Finnish to complain about things.
Festival is too short. We need one more day.
Oh, well, that's true. 2 days is like barely a start. Any highlights for you?
As bands?
Well, in general, feel free to whatever.
Very nice people, very nice sales. The mood, the general ambience is perfect. Weather is perfect. No, seriously perfect festival.
All right. Any favorite bands so far?
I want to see Mayhem, Creator. Just saw Abbas playing Immortal. And then, I don't remember what I saw yesterday. I don't remember everything. Oh, yeah, the Death Chain.
All right. That's a good one. All right. I wish you more good sales and all that stuff. Have a good one. Now, off we go to wander about with these random people want to go about. Can I bother you for a couple of seconds? No. Two introvert Finnish people, I guess. All right. Sir, can I bother you for a couple of seconds?
What?
How has this festival been for you so far?
Awesome.
Sorry?
Awesome.
Awesome. Well, any favorite bands so far?
Heaven Shall Burn maybe is the most
awesome.
Most awesome maybe.
Why so?
They have got quite good sound and music style is melody, which is my favorite.
All right. Is this your first time here, or were you here?
First time, yes.
First time.
I've been almost 10 years visiting Tuska every year, but now we came here because the Tuska's lineup wasn't so good this year.
So something new to try.
Yep.
Thank you so much, and have a good night. All right.
Hello. We are meeting in Evil Octopus Studios when you are interviewing Talented Jort in Oslo, maybe March.
Yeah.
So lovely to see you. You're enjoying the festivals also?
Well, yeah, of course. Enjoying the festivals. What about you?
Also Beyond the Gates last week.
Yes, that was very much true.
Wonderful. And I'm Midgårdsblot next week.
Unfortunately, not so much.
Hellboten, perhaps?
No, we're running out of budget and all.
I'm coming all the way from Australia, and you are so close. Where you are living, though?
Well, yeah, but that's how it goes. Sometimes you just run out of money and time and all.
That's good.
What about you coming from all the way to Australia? So it's quite a long trip for you to check out all the festivals.
That's okay. Well, we only live once, my friend. So, and a lot of the bands will not tour to Australia, and the work people will make it difficult for them also as well. So I think, fuck it, I come over here and enjoy the life and the wonderful northern summer and the wonderful Scandinavian people also. So.
Now, do you want to make a theory or an idea why not so many bands are not coming to Australia?
Well, it's a long distance. Visas are very difficult, I understand. But as I said also, there's just so many people who piss their pants, and some of my friends are promoters and venues. They've been threatened by just putting on a band that once was on the bill with another band, and very ridiculous, unreasonable, and people can't be fucked. I mean, I'm an adult. I can decide what music to listen to. I think you are also an adult, and I feel this is the attitude very much here. Yeah,
I like to think that we're so much adult that we don't really have to be scared of different kind of views and ideas some bands might have, and not so much worried about cancel culture. Do you think this is true?
Oh, absolutely. For reasonable people, I feel so, and. There is only one common enemy, and that is lack of sleep at festivals, my friend.
Well, that's very, very true. I wish you all the good, and we're going to do a little bit more walking around. And thank you for coming to Europe.
Happy to see you again.
Likewise. All right. So as you can see, metal is so universal. People come from different parts of the world just to, see music, listen to music, and enjoy the art we know. Now, on to the more merchandise area. Let's go bother more people. And as you can see, there are more art. Black Bible. Whatever it means. Okay, we have some people with interesting face paints. Let's ask if they can be bothered. Excuse us, ladies. Can we bother with a couple of questions? Saadaanko sitä pari kyssäriä englanniksi?
Ihan suomeksi, jos
We would like to do this in English.
English.
Yeah, you can do it. Best band so far?
En mä osaa sanoa.
Just band names.
Mitä me oltiin äsken katsomassa? Tyrantti. So, that was great.
Any other one? Good ones? Something that made your pants wet?
Ei siis mun pää lyö aina tyhjää.
It's fine. Fine. I'll ask you in a bit. What about you?
Havukruunu today.
Oh, that was great.
Yesterday, what else? Dark. Mikä oli? Dark. Yeah, white parade.
All right.
Okay. Havukruunu best today, and Doro also, like the woman singer, of course.
Of course. Now, I want to ask you about your interesting and beautiful hair and makeup. What's the story with, having this kind of a look for the festival?
For the first time ever, I've been dreaming of this day that I can express myself. I was always bullied for outer experience, like for how I looked. I was said I was ugly, and I've been in a space that I've been gathering, money or the material to look this way today. And yesterday and today I finally had the moment to express my true self that I have been wanting to express.
Well, that's a beautiful story. What do you hope to have here, say, next year?
I'm sorry to say, but the people that been responsible for the like the lipun sisäänpäänti.
The tickets.
The entrance.
Yeah.
Last year it was easier, but of course when people in Finland are there are more mellow to come in line.
Yeah.
It was easy this year, but the line this year was a little bit different. It was a little bit hard to come inside the entrance booth. Like €4 per visit is a bit harsh.
That's just a bit too much.
A little bit like the prices are a bit harsh, of course, but I'm more interested in this year's safety regulations, in how we are more people this year coming and inside the last bands, how we are going to divide the people coming inside. Like last year they didn't allow people inside anymore because they didn't have the space. Of course it's a safety issue, but I'm interested in this year how they are going to regulate the safety, like
making their improvements.
Yeah.
Well, we'll be looking forward to that. Hey, I wish you all rest of the festival. Thank you so much for your answers. Enjoy and maybe see you next year. Alrighty. Hello. There is some fine-looking bunch of people. Any good stories to be told about this year's festival? Let's start with you, lady. Favorite bands? Good moments?
Satirican.
Okay. What about you, sir? Getting pants wet?
Yeah, actually, the weather got my pants wet.
Well, I got big guys. Yeah. We have the problem. What about you, sir?
Of course, Dayside is fucking amazing. It's just first. every niinku fucking first time see this fucking band is just fucking amazing, you know.
Suicide Circus. What about you, sir?
I think Satan. yeah, him or Dayside or Hellhammer or Satyricon.
Good choices. Thank you guys, and have a great festival. Keeping metal. Don't crush my beer can. All right. Oh, hey. Hey, I was a Mayhem fan. Sir, you're looking for Mayhem. What do you expect?
I'm looking. I'm expecting. I hope they play a lot of songs from the Demysteries Dom Satanas.
What else? Nothing else.
Nothing else. Yeah.
Hey, we should talk about Dayside. Was it really good or fucking good?
It was fucking good.
Thank you so much. Have a good festival. All right. Weird asking questions from your friends, but I guess that's part of the thing here. All right, this is pretty much how it looks inside. We basically walk around the ice rink and, there's just more jewelry, more merchandise, more fans. Now, of course, you people are wondering, where on earth are all the people? How there are only so few people? Well, that's when we go outside. And because it's going to be noisy, well, you probably won't hear me talking too much, but that's really good place.
Really good place.
You like it?
I like it, yeah.
The best band so far?
Everything's quite okay. Parasrum, for example, really, really good stuff.
All right, thank you so much. So, as I was saying, the amount of people here don't really reflect what's going outside. But since we really can't be heard outside so much, because I'm playing, this will be the end of the tour pretty soon. We'll go for some nice looks outside where the main stages number 1 and stages 2 are happening, taking place. So once again, let us follow outside, and we're gonna give you a little bit of a look. What's it gonna be? And then after that, off we go. Now we arrived to so-called Necropolis RIP area, which would be VIP area for a lot of people. Instead of very important people, very important person, I guess it's more like rest in pieces kind of stuff. All right, let's go out. And like saying, now we go to the noisier parts, well, the actual metal. And this is the final part of the tour. We're getting to the food court right there. You're gonna see some RIP area or VIP area on my right. And we're gonna show you a little bit of what's happening outside, but it's gonna be noisy. Noisy in a good way, because we're at the metal festival anyway. So while this is the main area of the whole tour, there's not much to show you besides the rather obvious. And we'll go to finish this tour on the stairs, where we'll give you a little bit of a look, well, how it looks. And that's gonna be the end of it. Now, if you're wondering where are all the people, they're right here. What can I say? Meshuggah playing on the main stage, the next stage getting prepared, and everybody is here drinking or listening to metal and shit. Now, they just perfectly timed with this part here, and this is Hellsinki Metal Fest 2024. This is Rauta. Maybe see you next year with interesting lineups coming your way. And if you have some questions about the festival, just let me know and I'll get back to you. Off you go, enjoy some metal.